rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Beautiful morning. Wow, it's really weird. My backgrounds are all gone. I don't understand this. They've done some really funky stuff to the StreamYards. I haven't quite figured it out, but there we go. That should work. Why is it not working? Crazy. Maybe there's, I think I know what it is. There we go. All right, let's see. There it is. Ah, geez. They can't seem to get this stuff straightened out, but eventually they'll have it right. Good morning again, everybody. Welcome. Oh man, we have a lot to go through and a lot to get to. Yes, we do. First of all, we got this one right here. Hopefully everybody can see this, because I believe Megan and Tug were having a hard time the other day getting this to work. So don't know if it's working, but if it is, we'll get started right away. This is DJ Daniel meets the president. One of the biggest stars to emerge from Donald Trump's amazing speech on Tuesday night was DJ Daniel, 13-year-old boy who was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer in 2018, given just a few months to live. However, after 13 brain surgeries, he survived the odds, and while he still suffers from some health issues like advanced cataracts and has dealt with a terrible bullying in the past, he's thriving and enjoying life more than most healthy people I know. This young man has always wanted to become a police officer when he grows up, and he's a big supporter of law enforcement. As a matter of fact, he and his father have traveled around the country to various law enforcement agencies over the last few years. He's become an honorary member of over 900 of them. Wow. Now he's a Secret Service agent. Look at that. Because of this, the president and the first lady DJ invited DJ and his father, I'm going to get the name wrong, Theodis, to be guests at the president's address to joint sessions of Congress on Tuesday. But Trump took it a step further and honored DJ as an honorary Secret Service agent. The Secret Service Director Sean Curran himself presented TH with a bandage. DJ, I believe, is what they mean, with a badge in a moment that he was about as heartwarming as it gets. And here's a video in case you missed it. It's best to grab some tissues before you watch, though. I will just say that it was very, very heartwarming. Good morning, Welsh. How you doing? Good to see you.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That is amazing. But as I wrote after the speech, not everyone in the crowd appreciated this sweet movement. While Republicans and bipartisan guests in the gallery cheered him on, the majority of Democrats in attendance stayed in their seats and stared into space or fiddled around on their phones. But this article is not about the ugly people who make even a little boy's miraculous life and happiness a partisan issue. This article is about DJ and what came next for him and his family. On Wednesday morning, DJ and Theodis appeared on Fox and Friends, as well as their own local Houston Fox affiliate. Daniel lives in Houston, Texas, for interviews. During the interview with Fox 26 in Houston, DJ showed off his badge while his father said he hopes their story inspires others. We just have to turn something that most of us see as bad and tragic into something positive. We're supposed to be in the business of trying to inspire people to be a better version of themselves, despite what you're going through, he said, adding, he doesn't give up. He doesn't complain. He just gets out and does it with no excuses. Just stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay prayed up. On Fox and Friends, DJ told Steve Doocy that he sent Trump a cowboy hat from Texas, but he wasn't sure if the president had received it and that he had never spoken to him directly. Well, that changed today. DJ and his father and other members of his family not only got to go to the White House, but they also got to meet President Trump and thank him in person. And DJ had one more gift for the president. Well, here it is.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh? Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right? Yes, it was. That was a big evening.
Wow. D-Day just didn't meet the president, though. He was apparently the guy who everyone in Washington, D.C. wanted to see on Wednesday. Several members of Congress and other dignitaries posted pictures they'd taken with the young man on X. Look at that. Just amazing. Oh, yeah, absolutely sweet. Challenged me to see if I could handle his squeeze. I almost tapped out. And not all Democrats were being real buttheads. There's this one particular Democrat that did exactly what...
Quite frankly, there were moments where I feel like anger out of some of the actions that have happened over the past month and a half prevented some of my colleagues from being able to stand up to support the little DJ Daniel. I stood up and applauded this little boy who, is getting over cancer, wants to be a police officer, and I was disappointed that I was not joined by any of my colleagues.
Amazing, huh? Who is this person you say? This is Congresswoman Laura Gillen, that had no problem standing up and applauding for little DJ. And the amount of people that just sit there showing no care in the world except for their own agendas shows you the kind of people that they really are. President Donald Trump's speech to a joint sessions of Congress on Tuesday night was one for the ages, the day after many political pundits commented that they believed this was Trump's best speech and one of the best political speeches ever given. Democrats attempted to smear Trump's address with a vast array of childish and petty shenanigans. When those didn't work, any semblance of humanity collectively escaped them, as many of Trump's guests were introduced and their stories told, for all of their virtues signaling by wearing pink, yellow, blue, or black. Donald Trump made Democrats reveal who they really are. Gayla Bayer Taylor says, "Thank you, Congresswoman Laura Gillen, for having the courage to show grace, even when you were the only one standing. They don't deserve you. You remind me of what Democrats used to be. The rest of your party reminded me of why I left." As Trump introduced guests like the mother and sister of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley, the mother of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare, both murdered at the hands of illegal immigrants, and the wife and daughters of Corey Competore, who was killed in the assassination attempt on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania last July. Republicans gave all standing ovation, and Democrats remained seated. Then Trump introduced DJ Daniels. He's that 13-year-old that we just talked about. Incredulously, only half of the chamber stood for DJ, the Republican side. Democrats and their blind hatred for anything remotely related to Donald Trump sat there and did nothing while a child who has survived cancer was honored. Today, social media has not been kind to them. I'm sure they have no idea why. But many people might have not seen, I did not see as myself, as I watched the speech, was one Democrat that did stand up and applaud DJ, and probably the others as well. The Democrat is Representative Laura Gillen, who represents New York's 4th Congressional District. Now, she's a first-term congresswoman who hails from Long Island, a red blip in a sea of New York blue, and quite possibly the last existing rational Democrat. Gillen expressed disappointment in her Democrat colleagues. Amazing. She appears to be the only one on her side of the aisle who has been spared from Trump derangement syndrome. A quick look at her website shows that she voted for the Laken Riley Act and went on to state, "I'm focused on the priorities that matter to Long Islanders, taking on our cost of living crisis, fixing our broken immigration system, and keeping our communities and law enforcement safe. I'll continue to work with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle and the administration on pressing issues. I'm ready to work with the president when it helps my constituents, but I'll always fight back against policies that hurt Nassau County." No problem here with those statements. That, in a nutshell, is her job. But after Tuesday night, she must wonder who exactly she's thrown her hat in with. Gillen has the basic human decency to stand up and applaud a child who is a cancer survivor when none of her colleagues did. Given the decaying state of the Democrat Party, what might happen to her today? Will there be a meeting between herself, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and maybe Grand Dame of the House, Nancy Pelosi? To get her mind right, will she be on some sort of double secret probation after Representative Al Green's bouncing from the chamber at the hands of Speaker Mike Johnson for his insufferable behaviors? Well, Jeffries will want to make sure he does a better job of herding the cats and getting rid of independent thinkers. The kind of leadership Representative Laura Gillen displayed Tuesday night is what her party is sorely lacking, but will push away with both hands. But I think I can speak for many when I say, well done, Representative Gillen. Well done. Okay. You guys are awesome. But what we're going to do is, it is 7:14. Man, oh man. It seems like forever. All I know is Shizzy has a shrine to AOC's feet hidden in his closet. Don't deny it, Shizzy. The first step to recovery is acceptance. Well, what can I say? You know, she's got the swollen ankles of a pregnant woman, doesn't she? Doesn't she, Slug? Isn't that right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Good morning, Aunt Sarah. Good morning, Tammy Bugard. Good to see you, Debbie Webb. I'm just me, Tammy Bugard. How you doing? Betsy Weingartner, Helene, it is wonderful. Hey, Max Lab, good to see you. Oh my Lord Almighty, do I have permission to use your content from yesterday's show on your show, lest ye faint? I have some videos and photos with no sound. I guess, yeah, sure. As long as it doesn't get me in trouble, then have fun. Have fun. Oh my gosh, good stuff. Yeah, there's no problem. I don't mind people clipping things out of there. Just try to be kind. Try to be kind. And speaking of PR fallout of Trump's speech, we're 100% heading for a government shutdown. Is that true? Do you think we're headed for a government shutdown? Well, where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go? The Democrat base is frustrated and demoralized ever since President Biden meandered aimlessly and mindlessly in his one and only presidential debate. It's been one horror show after another. Not even a good horror show like those classic Friday the 13th movies. I'm talking about bad ones that don't even respect the viewer enough to include gratuitous nudity. Oh, by the way, Biden Roomba'd across this debate stage on June 27th, 2024, and that was 250 plus days ago. At this point, the Dems are quickly approaching a year-long losing streak. Then that's just brutal. They're the jobbers of D.C. The Washington General should probably sue the Democrats for copyright infringement. So if you're a Democrat, what's your next move? Remember, we're not their target audience. It doesn't matter what we think because Democratic coalitions always come from the inside out, not the outside in. And the GOP, an outsider like Trump, can force the party's hand, delivering a new diverse voting bloc. And that's been the secret to MAGA's success. But for what better or worse, usually worse, it ain't how the Democrat Party is structured. Just ask Bernie Sanders. There's an original hierarchy that reflects their institutional media advantage. A handful of powerful Democrats will consult with donors and make key decisions, which they then try to popularize through their sycophants in the media. When the Democrats in the mainstream media were at their peak, it was an extraordinarily effective 1-2 punch. They won a lot of elections and passed a lot of legislation. It worked like this. Once the donkey elders settled on a decision, they'd promote it to all the top journalists at the New York Times and a few other top-tier outlets. Soon an echo chamber would form. The smaller outlets would fall into line, and the story would be sold exclusively from Democrats' point of view. The Democrats are still trying this approach, but it's not effective anymore. One of the permanent changes of the MAGA revolutions was the diminishment of the mainstream media's reach and prestige. Walter Cronkite might have been the most trusted man in America in the 60s and 70s, but that was a very long time ago. Today, the alphabet hangers are widely dismissed as fake news. But since the Democrats still use the same old media tactics, we can reverse engineer their PR strategies to know exactly what they're going to do next. For example, we know the Democrats will be auditioning new flag bearers via stupidly glowing media profiles. This week, the flag bearer du jour was Chris Murphy. Then when Murphy bombs, it'll be someone else, I guarantee you. And we also know the Democrats will try to sabotage the government, triggering a federal shutdown. Credit to my esteemed colleague, Rick Moran, who broke the story yesterday. Democrats look to blow a budget bill, and go read it. As Rick warned, blowing up the budget negotiations may get some traction. The Politico story he referenced, Democrats are serious about a shutdown, is a classic liberal trial balloon. You float a story out to a trusted media outlet, hoping to get a feel for public opinion. If you get a good response, you double down. If the opposite happens, you forget it and move on. But this time, the Democrats' target audience is their own base of activists and donors. And after such a lengthy losing streak, the Democrats would rather blow up the whole government than let Trump use it. You see, liberals are in an absolute meltdown because nothing is working anymore. Well, if you give them a choice between something and nothing, they're going to pick something at every turn. This time it's Democrats who are itching for a fight over the Department of Government efficacy cuts that Trump has blessed and deputized mogul Elon Musk has gleefully carried out. Senior House Democrats have spent recent days privately surveying their members about whether they'd be willing to shut down the government over DOGE cuts. According to multiple well-placed Democrat sources I spoke to over the weekend, so far they're encountering little resistance. Emphasis added. Your ears ought to perk at the word resistance. That's a term the Democrats used extensively during Trump's first term. What was old is new again. It's coming directly from Democrats' party elders. Usually, shutdown saber rattling originates on the fringes of the two parties and gains momentum until leaders just can't ignore it lest they risk their own jobs. This time, however, the foreman is coming from the leadership table itself, where there's a growing anger over the lightning-fast Trump-Musk campaign to gut federal agencies and the glacial pace of the court action to stop it. And that's the real ledge of this story. The Democrat Party leadership has decided to blow up the government. It's calculated, deliberate decision. Crazy, isn't it? Wait, what did you find out about Shizzy being a funder for the Elevators for Archie movement? I don't know what that is, but thank you, I guess. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, what we're going to do here just for a short bit is we're going to go grab ourselves a nice cup of hot Java because we're running a little low on the coffee. Let's see, we got a couple of them that we could do here, but I think that you just need a nice little bit of a dance this morning. So shake it just a little bit.
Time to shine. I'm feeling the groove with these hips of mine. Hands in the air like spaghetti gone rogue. My knees are jelly and my hips just broke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. My shoulders pop like a rusty hinge. My fingers point like they're on a binge. Twirl like a tornado, then drop real low. It's not planned, it's a shit sideshow. I've got the rhythm of a clock that's broke. My dance floor moves are a big effing joke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Mesmerizing glow. You can't help but watch me steal the show. I summon the shake, the shimmy, the twist, a mix of genius and a big old fist. You're drawn in close, your feet start to twitch, feeling the groove like a broke ass bitch. Yeah. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Now we're all in the shake, no need to be shy. Move like spaghetti and reach for the sky. We'll dance like we're cursed, laugh to a soar. Shizzy whiz nut reigns forevermore. So join the dance, let your weirdness unfurl. We're shaking ass, not a care in the world.
Looky there. Tinkle Tits Mickey. F this administration. Resist. Been a member for 13 months. Happy Thursday, Shizzy, and everyone else. Thank you very much, Tinkle Tits McGee. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See, Tinkle Tits has been here for quite some time, back whenever I was streaming with Junior. Yeah, good people there. Very good people. Love it. Yes. Yes, yes. So much fun. That's what people keep missing out on, is just the fun of it all. And we've got, oh boy, we've got the MSNBC ghouls that are just killing their network. According to Adweek, looking at this year-to-year performance, MSNBC was down 16% in total viewers and 9% in the demo during prime time. During the total day, it was down 25% in total viewers and 21% in the demo relative to 2024. Granted, it is up from last month, but I wouldn't bet on that holding after last night's self-implosion. Well, it was actually the day before yesterday's self-implosion, but I would, but I've got 3D stuff going on. Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully the 3D stuff gets going better there, Volstorm. Thoughts and prayers are out to you, brother. Thoughts and prayers out to you and your family. Most definitely. This is surprising, given how they put all their eggs in the anti-Trump basket. They were lapdogs on everything from the Great Russian Collusion hoax to the one-sided Liz Cheney January 6th show trial. And are they still lighting candles to the sainted Vladimir Zelensky as a military savior? Fine. You are a press release machine for the left. That's your niche. But Nicole Wallace, while talking to Rachel Maddow, crossed so far into the ghoul zone that during President Trump's address to Congress that she may never get out. Her comments make crazy Al Green's expulsion from the audience last night seem like a normal garden variety nuttiness one expects from congressional hacks. Last night, these gals sank their teeth into a 13-year-old boy, DJ Daniel, and he made the mistake of being honored by President Trump after recovering from a brain tumor and multiple surgeries. 13 of them. If you know, you know. You know, the young man who has always wanted to be a police officer, the young man who made grown men cry and women weep when he was enrolled as an honorary Secret Service agent, and then gave the agent that gave it to him a big hug. Well, so much for that person of color, and don't let your lying eyes linger on that big, proud dad of his with his do-rag and white cowboy hat, the one who lifted his son so high in the air that he could see everyone. They could see him as the president honored him. Wallace, in her twisted way, managed to tie this human interest story into a January 6th seditious conspiracy and police suicides. Donald Trump is the undying villain in her fantasy world. Poor DJ was only 9 years old back then, so yes, it's sick out there and getting sicker, and Wallace is the poster girl for this. Here are her words about DJ and his aspiration to be a police officer. Quote, I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer, but I hope he never has to defend the United States and Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't the one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't the one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then lives to see Donald Trump pardon those people. This is a classic example of the heartless Washington media ghoul at work. She is challenging her audience to suppress their human emotions. She's reminding them to be clear-sighted and remember that their human compassion might mislead them into thinking even one damn good thought about pure evil that is Donald Trump. These emotions need to be nipped in the bud in order to prevail politically. At this point, they're where a normal person begins to back away towards the door so they can make a quick exit from an ideological ghoul. And Maddow doubled down on the nuttiest, saying, for the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that, which was in the midst of him praising Doge cuts, among other things, that have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer. Thanks for telling us how disgusting this was, hard-hearted Hannah, and thanks for implying that President Trump is somehow giving cancer to children. But here's the best rebuttal to all this nonsense. Here is the love, gratitude, and eloquence of this amazing, composed young man, and it blows up Wallace and Maddow's fantasy line. Yes, his thanks for President Trump is going to be touching.
But you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And And then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Wow. Thank goodness that Wallace describes herself as a self-loathing former Republican. The Democrats can have her if they dare. A legal advocate for same-sex marriage, Wallace is a decade or more past childbearing years. She is now has a non-handicapped 2-year-old daughter thanks to surrogacy. Oh, mommy dearest. I hope she rethinks her attempt to marginalize DJ and his story. In the media, we get cold-hearted public figures we deserve. With leadership like this, the staff at MSNBC might want to review their resumes and be prepared to abandon a sinking ship. The only good news for them is CNN has even worse ratings, and, well, I guess the race is on to see who will sink first. Yeah, that child is a walking miracle. That child is a very much so a walking miracle. That they got him there as soon as possible. They didn't hesitate. They didn't delay. They just rushed him to the hospital. Amazing. Amazing, isn't it? How one little thing can set him off. And speaking of changes and things, bitch needs to be fired. Yeah, very much so, Volstorm, very much so. The importance of retaking institutions. Lasting political change doesn't come from winning elections, but reshaping institutions. On February 26, Jeff Bezos, the former founder of Amazon and owner of the Washington Post, issued a stunning announcement. "I'm writing to let you know about a change coming to our opinion pages," he wrote on X. "We're going to be writing every day in support and defense of two pillars, personal liberties and free markets." Yes, that's the same Washington Post editorial board that attacked Donald Trump last year for promising tax cuts and reduced regulations. The same editorial board that called for a ban on AR-15s. The same editorial board that supported an artificial limit on gas-powered cars. But Bezos went even further. "I am of America and for America, proud to be so," he wrote. "Our country did not get here by being typical. A big part of American success has been freedom on the economic realm and everywhere else. Freedom is ethical. It minimizes coercion and practical. It drives creativity, invention, and prosperity." I didn't have Bezos echoing the 19th century French economist Frederick Bastide on my 2025 bingo card, and that's pretty incredible. Now, whether this move is sincere or cynical, think about why this matters. Throughout the country, there are always people changing their political opinions. I have too, shifting away from libertarian passivity. Perhaps I even persuaded some of my readers to reconsider an issue or two. But Bezos' decision is different because, if enacted, it will be a major shift for an institution. Society isn't just a collection of individuals making choices. It's shaped by its major institutions, whether they're groups such as businesses, schools, or government agencies, or practices like marriage. These institutions shape opinion and culture. They define the limits of socially acceptable behavior. Republicans have won their fair share of elections over the last few decades, but conservatives have lost ground because the left controls the institutions. In many places, it's personally and professionally risky to say obviously true things like men are not women. This is one reason the left is so upset about President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's efforts to shrink the government. For decades, the left has used government agencies and tax dollars to amplify its ideology. The Biden administration pressured social media companies to restrict content that contradicted the government's preferred narrative. The Biden administration imprisoned pro-life protesters while dropping charges against Black Lives Matter rioters. The Biden administration sent the FBI after parents at school board meetings who opposed critical race theory. The Biden administration even weaponized the Justice Department to go after Donald Trump. The left's abuse of institutional power for political advantage isn't new either. During the Obama administration, the IRS stalled the applications of conservative groups seeking tax-exempt status. Then there's the money. As Doge has revealed, taxpayers have sent billions to left-wing nonprofits. Taxpayers also funded the K-12 and higher education systems, which routinely indoctrinate students in left-wing ideology. Many universities have used diversity statements to ensure that they only hired leftists. The stakes here are much higher than just saving money, although that's nice. Trump and governors like Ron DeSantis are making or tearing down the institutions the left used to dominate. Now, here's a paradox that may give some conservatives pause. The right wants a marketplace of free ideas, free from government interference. Trump's robust use of governmental power to achieve this seems like a contradiction, but it's not. A taxpayer-subsidized university doesn't respond to market forces. Indoctrination in school infringes on parental rights. Leftist bureaucrats use their authority to silence their opponents, not engage in good faith debate. Fixing these problems requires Republicans to govern aggressively. The right must regain control of the institutions that sit atop the country's commanding heights. Crazy. Good morning of this. F this administration resist. Yes, always give a good morning to Tinkle Toes McGee. I'm going to say Tinkle Toes. It's actually Tinkle Tits McGee, but Tinkle Toes still sounds funny. Man, oh man. What a nice article. That was really, really, really good. What in the hell is wrong with this? Oh, I wanted to show you guys, well, I've got so many of you fine people here. This came out just last night, and I think it deserves to be shown. This is from the one, the only Vice Baby. If you get a chance, go check out his video from last night, where he opens and does an opening of this right here. It is one that you definitely want to watch. It's full of class and should be well received. Legal Vices passed the 100,000 subs and has received the play button for such. And he will thank each and every one of you. If you get a chance, go check that out and show a little bit of love for Jeff that finally reached that 100,000 sub count. Congratulations. Oh, Debbie. Well, I thought that was very, very nice. And here we go. All right, how Trump is winning over America. Well, Americans all across the country witnessed something remarkable Tuesday night as President Trump delivered his address to a joint sessions of Congress. Real leadership, and boy, did the Democrats hate it. They really showed their true colors with their despicable behavior, and I truly believe it's going to backfire on them, and here's why. As PJ Media previously reported, 2 instant polls following the speech showed overwhelmingly positive reactions from viewers. When you consider how much the media hates on Trump, you wonder how that's possible. The answer is it's easier than you think. Trump's common sense America First message is winning over the country, while Democrats sit on their hands, except when Ukraine is mentioned, of course, and here's how we can tell. Based on the data from the analytics firm Eyes Over, there was a significant boost in positive sentiment towards Trump during his address, while Democrats experienced a decline. No surprise there. Americans appreciate a president who delivers results rather than empty promises. In recent joint sessions of Congress, President Donald Trump delivered a speech that resonated positively among his supporters, showcasing his administration's achievements and reinforcing his leadership vision. This speech significantly boosted his positive sentiment ratings as indicated by the green uptick in his chart. Trump's direct, unfiltered leadership style continues to be his greatest strength. While the Washington establishment and media elite sneer at his bluntness, everyday Americans see it as a refreshing honesty and, more importantly, the fulfillment of campaign promises. What a concept. But it wasn't just a good night for Trump, it was a bad night for Democrats. Conversely, the Democrats experienced a decline in sentiment and support during the same event, reflective of a moderate risk of negative reaction to their conduct during the session. And the graphic goes into detail about the biggest wins for Trump, but we're not going to dig into that. You can just see that right there, Trump, very positive, very low for Democrats. Immigration and border security took center stage, with Trump reaffirming his commitment to deporting criminals who should never been in our country in the first place. His mention of the Laken Riley Act, named for the 22-year-old nursing student that was not allegedly, if I'm not mistaken, they found that very much to be the case. Unless that court case is still going on, I'm pretty sure that he was already been thrown in jail, arrested, and sent to prison. But I could be wrong on that. I haven't been able to follow that case quite as much as I would have loved to. And that maybe because it hits a little bit home being here in Georgia. Apparently acknowledging American victims of failed border policies doesn't fit their open borders agenda. On Ukraine, Trump outlined his pragmatic approach of using negotiating leverage, including mineral rights, a stark contrast to the Biden-Harris blank check policy that drained American resources with no exit strategy. Trump's message was clear. America's interests do come first. The president's defense on tariffs, which globalist elites have demonized for years, receives strong support from Americans who understand these measures are crucial for revitalizing our manufacturing sector and creating jobs. Remember when experts claimed manufacturing jobs weren't coming back? Under Trump, they are. Meanwhile, Democrats embarrassed themselves with childish disruptions throughout the speech. Representative Al Green from Texas had to be forcibly removed by the sergeant at arms, a fitting image for a party that has abandoned serious governance for performative resistance. Most telling was that what Democrats chose to applaud and not applaud. They couldn't stand and cheer for a young cancer survivor, freed hostage, or Laken Riley's family. But Ukraine received a standing ovation, as eyes ever overnoted. Many voters believe Democrats prioritize foreign agendas over American interests. The Democrats' immigration stance essentially advocating for open borders while ignoring the economic and security consequences, increasingly out of step with Americans' concerns. Their response to Trump's policy proposals was, as eyes over described, disunited and ineffective, much like their entire agenda. That is why Trump is winning over America. He's speaking to the issues Americans care about, and Democrats are having childish hissy fits and pandering to their radical base. The American people are noticing the difference, and that, right there, should terrify. Should absolutely terrify. And if you need just a showing of how Ukraine was handled, here's a perfect example, as done, and I will preface this by saying that this is AI, in case it's not too obvious for you. Sorry, couldn't help it. I had to do it. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my gosh. I had to do that. But sorry. I've got a few of those for you. Give me a second. Why the hell does it keep doing that to me? That's so crazy. That's so crazy every time. All right, we've got this one here too. You're gonna love this one.
We're going to choose to not go on vacation in Florida or Old Orchard Beach or wherever.
Really?
We're going to choose to try to buy Canadian products and forego bourbon and other
forgo bourbon.
classic American products.
Oh, good.
And yeah, we're probably going to keep booing the American anthem. We're going to choose to not go.
Really? I love it. You see, this doesn't hurt us. This hurts you, but okay, whatever you want. I mean, you want to play those kind of games, you'll be surprised how this works out well for you. Here you go. Here's another one.
At 12:01 a.m., President Trump stabbed America's best friend in the back.
Really?
My message to the president is this: Canada will fight back. We will defend our people.
And nothing on the screen, no video? No video. That is so weird that it's happening. And, share screen. So this is the same thing was happening. We hear, but we don't see. That is so crazy. Let me bring it up again. There we go. Is that working now? Can you see it? Can you see it now? Better? You can see it. Same thing happened to Megan's last night. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Yes. Okay, here we go.
At 12:01 a.m., President Trump stabbed America's best friend in the back. My message to the president is this: Canada will fight back. We will defend our people and our economy, and we will put Canada first. There's no doubt that our economy will suffer, but so will yours, President Trump. In fact, you're already paying the price, with trillions of dollars erased in stock market value over the last month of these threats. Already, Americans are paying higher gas prices, as at midnight, a new American gas tax kicked in on U.S. working class taxpayers and motorists. Your workers will soon start losing jobs they had upgrading Canadian raw materials, which, by the way, you were getting at an incredible and ridiculous bargain. And your businesses will be selling fewer products to your closest neighbor. And that's only the beginning. While Canadians are slow to anger and quick to forgive, once provoked, we fight back. And we will fight back.
Well, let's see how that works out for you. Being that 36% of your gross domestic product relies on American people purchasing those from you. Whereas for all of the countries combined, including China, including Canada and Mexico, is at about 3% of our gross domestic product. So whenever you start talking about how much it's going to hurt us, just know that it is going to hurt a lot of your country much worse. Now, they get on their high horse about America when our military defends your country. Yes. Who is he speaking for? Canada? I don't recognize him. You don't recognize him. Well, that particular person happens to be, damn it, why does it keep doing that? So weird. So crazy. I hate when that happens. Well, that particular person happens to be Pierre Polivier, or I'm probably saying the name wrong, but they believe cutting things are going to help them out so much, and that can be further from the truth. Is it going to hurt America? Possibly. Check out NORAD. $200 billion in aid from U.S. taxpayers should be dismantled and canceled as I see it. There you go. There you go. I do have another one I want to show you. So I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like there's just there's possibly no sound here at the stage. And can you guys see this? Can you see this? I'm asking because you may not be seeing anything. Let me know. I'll wait a couple of seconds. Nope, you can't see it. That's wonderful. All right. Let's see. Remove, add to stage. Now, can you see it? No, 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 no. I see my wallpaper and you're a little on the left. All right. Stop present. This is ridiculous. Share screen. And here we go again. Now I know that you can see it. Here we go. All right. Let's make this happen. Yes. Big thumbs up. I want to see it. There we go.
Cheeky.
Oh, yeah.
Cheeky.
Oh, kitty!
That's the ranch kitty. I'm not a cat guy. I wouldn't call myself a cat guy. She's not a cat.
Aww.
Yeah, you petting her babies.
Don't bite his tail.
Play with her, Misty. There you go.
There we go. I knew you guys would appreciate that. Oh my. Oh my. You got to have a little bit of humor. Gotta have a little bit of humor. But this, you're about to see something here that is amazing and might get in a little bit of trouble because they like to throw music on there. But it's something that I think ought to be shown right here. Here you go. This right here.
We could set the way for the whole planet by committing to stopping oil.
The problem I have is this idea that the one group of people have decided that they are the ones to save the world. How dare you question us because we know what's right. I'm going to glue my hand to some tarmac and then I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to be a good person while the rest of us can't get on with our day. I'm more than twice her age. You know, I've got kids, I've got a job, I've got an elderly mother. We have to get on with our lives. I can't afford an electric car. I can't afford a heat pump. Most people can't afford that. It's about ego. There's no doubt that we've had a winter without any protest, but as soon as the sun comes out, oh, it's eco-festival time. And it is a festival. It's a big jamboree. It's let's get on social media. Let's sit down with a placard. Let's advertise to my friends what a great person I am. While the rest of ordinary people who have to go to work can't get to work.
What's your response? I just can't believe that that's what you're saying.
Oh, weird, but that's exactly what people are saying. That's exactly what people are saying about this. It's like wanting to get on with their lives, wanting to get on with their lives, and unable to. And they keep continuously wondering why. Why can't we get on with our lives? Because, well, you're sitting there there's a reason why you don't see a lot of these kinds of things in Atlanta, in Georgia. I don't see too many people being dumb enough to try to glue their hands down on 285, because that would end in a very horrible tragedy that nobody wants to see. That is something nobody wants to see. Oh, and I've got another one for you. Here we go. This one is going to probably give you a nice little laugh. That's what we hope. That's what we hope. Here we go.
By the way, I think the speech is going to be great, but I don't know how you do this for 90 minutes.
The hardest thing was doing it during Biden, when the speech was a stupid campaign speech.
Yeah. That right there was a hot mic moment that they probably didn't enjoy, but it was there. But it was there. But this is what we need more of. This is what we need more of, those hot mic moments where people actually say what they believe. Like this right here. Like this right here. This is the kind of leadership that you need. Stern men really make a difference. Really make a difference in a young man's life. There you go. Need more of men like that around. And a little bit less of this. Just saying. A little bit less of this. Here you go.
To try to guess what the word is.
Is it edible?
Yes.
Is it sweet?
No, it's not sweet.
It's not sweet.
It's not sweet.
Can you grow this?
Yes, you can grow it.
You can grow this?
Yeah.
It's not sweet.
It's not sweet.
At all?
No. Not in its natural raw form, no.
Can you buy it at the stores?
No.
Cannot buy it at the stores. Have I consumed this?
No.
I have not consumed this.
Not to my knowledge.
What? How many letters are in it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm saying it's edible, it's not sweet. You can't get it out the stores, but you can grow it. But you can grow it. But you can grow it. Have you consumed it before?
No. What? Absolutely not.
And you would never eat it? Never consume it?
Absolutely not.
Is it a plant?
Is it a plant? No.
How heavy can it get?
It can get real heavy.
The
Yeah.
edible part is messing me up because you are so against it. You are so against eating it like it's not supposed to be eaten.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be eaten.
Oh. You don't think it's supposed to be eaten?
No.
Why? Is it a body part?
It is a body part.
All right. We here. Is it on me or on you?
It's on both of us.
It's booty, bro. Why would I ask if it's edible? Like that, I think that's what messes me up. Is it edible?
Is it edible? Oh, yes. Oh my. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's too damn funny. Oh my. Is it edible? With jelly and syrup. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh, that killed me. That really did kill me. Oh man. Bad shizzy bad. That's a fun word game. Yes, that was a fun word game. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. 20 billion in green pork fattens the wallets of radical left NGOs and nonprofits. The outrageously misnamed Inflation Reduction Act passed in 2022 and pumped 740 billion into mostly alternative energy production, including in that porky pie was a gigantic slice of 27 billion that the EPA called Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. In what might be one of the most brazen recent examples of government waste, the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund didn't reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases by so much as one molecule. As the Free Press investigation of the fund discovered, the fund was supposed to be the first of its kind program to address the climate crisis, which, while revitalizing communities that it considered historically left behind. In fact, the program failed to revitalize anything, writes the Free Press, except for the coffers of a range of environmental nonprofits associated with former Obama and Biden administration officials. Now, this person recently wrote about this fund after it was revealed that the $2 billion grant was given to Power Forward Communities, an umbrella group that funded several radical green groups, including Rewiring America, an organization that featured perennial Georgia Democrat candidate Stacey Abrams as senior counsel. Now, at the time the $2 billion grant was awarded, Power Forward Communities had less than $100 in its bank account. How a nonprofit with $100 in the bank was able to swing a $2 billion grant was a mystery until now. The Biden administration used so-called climate equity to justify handouts of billions of dollars to their far-left friends. Lee Zeldin, the Trump administration's new EPA minister, told the Free Press, "It is my utmost priority to get a handle on every dollar that went out the door in this scheme and once again restore oversight and accountability over these funds. This rush job operation is riddled with conflicts of interest and corruption. On his way out of the White House before ending his term in January, Biden literally threw $20 billion in the direction of green nonprofits and NGOs, according to the Free Press investigation. The $20 billion was given to only 8 groups. We're just trying to get the money out as fast as possible before they come in and stop it all," Brett Efron of the EPA told Project Veritas undercover interviewer last year's election. "It truly feels like we're on the Titanic. We're throwing gold bars off the edge." The 8 groups were allocated sums ranging from $400 million to $6.9 billion. Several of them were formed in August of 2023, just 1 month after the grant applications went live in July of 2023, when it became clear that the large 9- and 10-figure grants would be up for grabs. The boards and staffs of these 8 groups included Democrat donors, people with connections to Obama and Biden administrations, and prominent Democrats like Stacey Abrams. She was senior counsel for Rewiring America, which was set to receive $489 billion from the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. These are some of the biggest grants to individual organizations in American history, said Judge Glock, a senior fellow at Manhattan Institute who wrote a book about federal bailouts. Even more outrageously, the 2 largest green groups who got 10-figure grants, Climate United Fund, $6.9 billion, and Coalition for Green Capital, $5 billion, were empowered by the EPA to dole out this magnificent largesse to hundreds of smaller green groups who were supposed to do the ultimate work of reducing greenhouse gases. Nothing in the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund required any oversight of those loans. You can imagine the crazy cockamamie ideas for reducing greenhouse gases these jamokes will come up with to get their hands on some of that money. This is clearly intended from its beginning to be a slush fund, Glock told the Free Press. The goal was to give them money with minimal strings and allow them to lend it to people they favored. Is an absolutely wild program. I haven't seen the likes of it in a previous government lending history. On his way out the door, Biden tried to Trump-proof the fund. In addition, for asking Justice Department to investigate the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, Zeldin is also attempting to claw back the $20 billion, most of which resides in about 129 accounts at Citibank. Accounts that Trump administration froze in February to try and prevent the groups from drawing on it. An EPA source told the Free Press that $3.1 billion was drawn down before the freeze took place, leaving $16.9 billion still residing at Citibank. The recipient accounts were set up between November and December of 2024 after Election Day. A Citibank spokesman declined to comment. This could prove difficult, however. According to a source familiar with the situation, the contracts with 8 groups can trigger clause that will cause the money to be immediately released if the Trump administration attempts to recoup it. It's been a long time since government corruption and cynicism were able to shock me. Remember that in addition to the Inflation Reduction Act, there was $3.1 trillion additional COOF aid that was rushed out the door with similar nonchalance and disregard for the safety of the people's purse. Don't expect any heads to roll or prison sentences for those responsible, because accountability in government is dead. Crazy, huh? Has everyone had a nightmare so bad that when you wake up you burst into tears? I can't even talk about the dream and feel so off. What the F? Thank you, Shizzy, for a fun distraction. You're welcome, Terry. I'm glad I could. When has anyone ever, what was that? It says, why do I suddenly crave pancakes with maple syrup? Ah, yes. I did last week. Jumped out of bed, ran the yard, break up a dog fight that was not happening. Well, it happens. Oh my gosh. My daughter asked me what was wrong, and I said, bad dream. Please don't ever ask what it was about. I knew not just give me a hug. Just give me a hug. Yeah, don't have bad dreams. Bad dreams always suck. The Justice Department opens anti-Semitism investigation into the California university system. Now, this is pretty interesting here if you think about it. Oops, did I just close that? Close something. Don't know what it was. Okay. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division sent a letter to Michael Drake, the president of the sprawling University of California school system, informing him that the Justice Department had opened an investigation into possible charges of anti-Semitism in the hiring practices of the UC system, University of California system, according to an exclusive report in the Free Press. Our investigation is based on information suggesting that since at least October 7th, 2023, the University of California may be engaged in certain employment practices that discriminate against employees who or are perceived to be Jewish or Israeli, wrote DOJ officials Mac Warner, Michael E. Gates. In the letter, accordingly, Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Division has authorized a full investigation to determine whether University of California is engaged in a pattern or practice of discrimination as set forth above. DOJ could probably open an investigation into most institutions of higher learning given what we've seen since October 7th of 2023. I know it has shocked me to see the rank Jew hate at work in people who purport to be liberals. We were recently notified in the Department of Justice's decision to initiate a civil rights investigation to University of California's system. Spokesperson for the UC system told the Free Press, we want to be clear, the University of California is unwavering in its commitment to combating anti-Semitism and protecting everyone's civil rights. We continue to take specific steps to foster an environment free of harassment and discrimination for everyone in the university community. The investigation comes on the heels of the DOJ forming a task force in February made up of representatives from the Departments of Education, Health, and Human Services to combat anti-Semitism that follows the executive order President Donald Trump signed in his first days in the office allocating federal resources to address the explosion of anti-Semitism on college campuses. The order, moreover, directed the Department of Justice to take immediate action to quell pro-Hamas vandalism and intimidation, an investigation and punish any anti-Jewish racism in leftist anti-American colleges and universities. The Anti-Semitism Task Force is led by Leo Terrell, a civil rights attorney and recent Fox News contributor. He is under the auspices of the DOJ Civil Rights Division, an office that Trump tapped attorney Harmet Dillon, who has not yet been confirmed by the Senate to lead. The DOJ investigation comes on the heels of an announcement by the Trump administration that he was reviewing federal funding into Columbia University after pro-Hamas demonstrations continued to roil the campus, threatening Jewish students and professors. The review, which will be led by the Department of Health and Human Services. The Department of Education, the General Services Administration, has already found that more than $50 million in contracts that could be nixed if the investigation reveals those actions on part of the administrators. Health and Human Services said in a news release that the review was necessary given Columbia's ongoing inaction in the face of relentless harassment of Jewish students. In addition, a task force will look into more than $5 billion in federal grant commitments to Columbia University, ensure that the university is in compliance with federal regulations, including its civil rights responsibilities. More than a quarter of Columbia's $6.6 billion in annual operating revenue comes from federal sources, according to its 2024 financial statements. Of that, about $1.3 billion comes from federal research grants, the category of revenue most immediately at risk from this review. The National Institute of Health gives the most federal research money to Columbia, providing $747 million in 2023. An additional $206 million came from other health and human services programs. If Palestinians are going to harass and threaten Jews on campus, any campus, they need to be deported. Of course, they will be made out to be heroes when they return home. But if they want to continue their education, I'm sure that Europeans or perhaps Saudis or Egyptians could accommodate them. Thank you, Rick Moran. New sub to Zach. Looking forward to seeing your videos. Awesome. Awesome. That is wonderful. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for shouting out Zach's channel. Wonderful, Zach. I hope you get some nice followers on your channel. I hope you really do. Oh, my. Oh, my. But there is also this right here. I hadn't seen this. Did Trump get the wrong Abby bad guy? That is a curious question, is it not? During President Trump's speech to a joint session of Congress, he announced that with the help of American intelligence agencies in Pakistan, the planner of Abbey Gates' terrorist attack in Afghanistan was being brought to America at the moment to face a swift sword of American justice. It was an exhilarating moment. The news may have prompted a small feeling of closure among the families of the 13 American service members who died in Afghanistan's calamity on Joe Biden's watch. But Pakistanis may have handed over the wrong guy. They say that Mohammed Sharifullah is a commander of the ISIS affiliate and the Khorasan Province, ISKP, and was an Afghan national captured at an operation conducted in the Pakistan-Afghanistan border region. The Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif thanked Trump in a statement for appreciating Pakistan's role in support and counterterrorism efforts across the region, but it could be that the Pakistanis who hid Osama bin Laden from Americans for years engaged in yet another subterfuge to stick it to us. Of course, the Pakistanis could have done that. Former CIA target whose job was to find bad guys in Afghanistan says whoever told the Trump team that this Mohammed guy was a short caller for the Taliban is lying to them. Now, as Adam, who now works for the Defense Department, uses open source materials and sometimes calls her old contacts in Afghanistan to run down leads while looking for bad guys and connecting the dots for articles and books, she thinks a different person was the actual shot caller for the suicide attack at Abbey Gate and the Kabul airport, those frantic days before the U.S. ignominiously bugged out. The man who helped plan the attack, Adams believes, is Hasif Haqqani, or of the notorious Haqqani terror network, and who has connections to Al-Qaeda's one-time number 2 bad guy, Ayman al-Zawahiri. In fact, Adams believes the man who told the suicide vest-wearing terrorist the precise place to detonate this for maximum U.S. casualties is Zawahiri's son-in-law. First, you have to understand what Adams believes is the leadership apparatus of the Taliban. She believes the Taliban is wholly infused by al-Qaeda. Adams says families have intermarried. She says 3 of the top leaders of the Taliban have the last name of bin Laden. Adams is the first to point out the United States bankrolls the Taliban, and by extension al-Qaeda and the bin Laden family, $40 to $80 million per week. As I reported previously, USAID money was used for a lot of the payoff to those terrorists. Adams' claims were verified in February's congressional hearing. Adams isn't new to finding terrorists who try to hide. She's written her She's written in a recent work about Abbeygate terror plot called HKIA Know Thy Enemy. She also found that the planners of the Benghazi terrorist attack on September 11th, 2012, and wrote about them in her book Benghazi Know Thy Enemy. Remember that Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Jake Sullivan, Obama's aide Susan Rice, told Americans that Benghazi attack was a misunderstanding that grew out of a movie that no one watched, for which the movie maker was jailed in America by President Obama. But Adams wouldn't rest until she tracked down every one of the terrorists who killed her CIA compatriots and American ambassador to Libya. After last night's announcement, FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X, the FBI and American intelligence worked to get their hands on the planner. But Patel needed only remember his own frustrations as DOJ investigator, involved for a time in the Benghazi prosecution, to inform this latest case in his book, Government Gangsters. Patel was frustrated that when it came to Benghazi, the Obama administration, the FBI, and the Department of Justice wanted to seem tough on terrorism, so they kept minimal prosecutions open and brought up big-sounding charges that we couldn't support. And before he became the nominee to head the FBI, Patel told Sean Ryan's show at the Top Brass, went and got basically the wrong guy involved in Benghazi. And when we prosecuted that wrong guy, not that he was part of it, he just wanted like the top tier of guys I would have gone after, and they screwed up the prosecution because they didn't listen to us. Patel, more than most, understands that he'd better get the right guy targeted and act accordingly. Crazy. Just trying to visualize a combo of Corgi and Pomeranian. That would be an interesting one, wouldn't it be? That would be a very interesting one. Why it keeps sending me messages? Oh, that's cool. I love it. That's a beautiful thing. I'm getting all kinds of like real-time reports on stuff that's happening. they met with the coldest of hearts. They will melt with the coldest of hearts. Absolutely. Love to hear that. And we have this right here, the morning briefing from Stephen Cruzier. I hope I'm saying his name right. Possibly not, but it's okay. I'm sure that he'll forgive me. The morning briefing, if there are any decent Democrats left, they're awfully quiet. Top of the morning, dear Cruiser morning briefing friends. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Hey, nachos. The United States of America don't have a very strong united vibe these days, do they? True, it has been much of an arm-linking kumbaya fest for a long time. Sorry about that. For a long time, but it's really testy now. The division is particularly acute in the digital universe that so many of us occupy. If one were to spend one days mostly online, one would think that this powder keg was about to blow up before the weekend. The thing is, and we all know this, that the world outside the front door can be considerably more chill than a cage match atmosphere online. This acrimony is all on the Democrats. We're all in a good mood over on this side now, aren't we? They're quite miserable over there, and they have been for a long time. I wrote on several occasions during the last 4 years that the Democrats were miserable human beings, even when they were winning. Perhaps that has something to do with the horrible human beings who have long been front and center for the Democrat Party. The dregs of humanity populate the upper tiers of the Democrat Party and its propaganda wing in the mainstream media. Mother Teresa would have struggled to like the better confrontational idiots in the Dem upper echelon. There are good people on the left, and I know a lot of them. Heck, my wife is one. Heck, I'm related to some of them. We all get along spectacularly. I remain mystified as to why people like that can't migrate upwards in the Democrat Party or into the media for the betterment of the nation. I wish some of them would. In addition to the inexcusable behavior of the Dems who attended President Trump's speech on Tuesday night, the Dems are making news with sanctuary city mayors who are proud to be harboring criminals, and Governor Janet Mills of Maine, who decided to make protecting trans boys and girls sports the centerpiece of her attention whore moment. One plausible explanation for how these people keep polluting the top of the party is that there haven't been any consequences for being awful before now. The Trump 47 administration will not be indulging the anti-American progressive behavior in these dolts. or I should say idiots. Sarah wrote about border czar Tom Holman's latest dose of reality in the sanctuary crowd. Over at Town Hall, Rebecca Downs has the story of the Trump administration suing the state of Maine over Governor antics. If enough of these people keep getting the wrong kind of publicity, perhaps some of the more decent Democrat voters will start making better choices, perhaps. Of course, many of the good Democrats did speak up in a very specific way last November. They voted for Donald Trump. There could be a lot more of that if Democrats insist on constantly parading their commie freak show in front of the cameras. And just so you know, everything isn't awful. Baby horses, minis, look at that. Just watch it over and over again. The Three Amigos. The Three Amigos.
Bye, Bob. Tuffy and Bambi.
Oh, gotta love that. Got to love that. Baby horses. Gosh, why does it keep doing that? So weird. I don't understand why it keeps acting so funky on me. Keeps embiggening everything. Oh, Welsh pony. They probably can't migrate up because they don't speak the BS the ones at the top do. That is very true. Like I've said, there's nothing. Nothing. Daughter has a corgi mixed with something else. I don't remember, but it looks like a corgi. Well, that could be anything. That could be absolutely anything. I don't know. There was something else I saw that was interesting. Where is it? I thought I saw something here. It disappeared. Where did it go? I will find it eventually. And if I don't find it in the next couple of minutes, I will end this craziness. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What is this? This is new. Huh. Give me a second. All right. Hoping to adopt a sausage dog pup at the end of the month. Crazy. All right, here we go. This is the next story. I'm gonna just stop that because hopefully this works out. It's been very crazy. This thing is acting all funky. I wish they would fix Streamlabs, get it up and running properly, because that would be much better than this crap of having to do this constantly. The father of a Marine killed, starting to really like my morning show. Well, thank you, Lily. Not a morning person normally. Well, I hope you do enjoy them. I try to bring a little bit of news everywhere. Thank you so much for your support for the Fiverr. That is wonderful for you, Lily Smith. And like I said, it's a little different. It's a breakaway. It's more political than you'll find in other places. And I do appreciate your support. Thank you very much, Lily. I appreciate you. Yeah, rescues are the best. We get many full-blooded. Love that. Father Marine killed at Abbey Gate, shocked at Dems' reaction to news of ISIS's top dog arrest. Mark Schmidt's son, Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, was one of the 13 American service members who were killed in Khorasan province attack at Kabul's Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. Mark Schmidt was thus watching President Trump's Tuesday night address to Congress with intense interest as Trump announced that Mohammed Sharalufa, I'm going to probably say that wrong, who planned the jihad operation at Abbey Gate that day, had been arrested. To Schmidt's shock, however, the Democrats in the audience didn't seem in the least pleased at the news. Welcome to the Democrat Party 2025, the party that hates Trump so much it readily sides with those who kill Americans. Fox News reported Wednesday that Schmitz said the Democrats' reaction or lack thereof to the news that one of their masterminds behind the attack had been arrested was disturbing. Although one would think that anyone in his right mind would applaud the arrest of a man who engineered the murder of at least 183 people, 13 U.S. service members, plus 170 Afghan civilians. And Fox notes that the news of the arrest was not met with a resounding approval across the political aisle. As Schmidt pointed out, roughly a third of Democrats applauded the news, and none appeared to join their Republican colleagues in a standing ovation. Smith observed, this should not be a partisan issue whatsoever. The death of our kids, that's right, it shouldn't. And the fact is, for the Democrats, it clearly was indeed a partisan issue and revealing. You would think that every single person in that place would be standing up and applauding and cheering, Smith added. To see the Democrats sitting there stone-faced at the news of the arrest was incredibly insulting as a Gold Star family. He emphasized, this has got nothing to do with politics. This is our military we're talking about, and that needs to change. Of course it does, but it's not likely to. As many have observed, the Democrats have clearly chosen to regard anything that Trump does, no matter how good it is for America and even for the world at large, as not normal and something to be fought by any means possible. The election of 2024 taught the Democrats nothing. Instead of retreating from their America Last stances and stepping back from their gender madness, the war on freedom of speech, in the attempt to criminalize opposition to their policies, they have doubled down and now are captains of a defiantly sinking ship. Back in 1972, the famed film director Werner Herzog's movie Aguirre, The Wrath of God, depicted a Spanish conquistador in South America slowly descending into madness until finally he is piloting a raft of monkeys on a weed-choked jungle stream, and all the while muttering, "I am the wrath of God." That's as apt as a summation as any of the Democrats after a month and a half of the new Trump administration. Their program is as insane as it ever was, but their primary and fundamentally priority is that they hate Trump and want to destroy him, and they appear to be bent on chasing that goal into total electoral irrelevancy. If the Democrats had wanted to show Americans that they still represent a point of view that people who care about this country could get behind, the least they could have done would have been to stand up and applaud at the news and the arrest of Mohammed Sharifullah. But since it was Donald Trump who announced it was back to muttering to monkeys on the raft. And it gets worse, as these things usually do. Schmitz says that even before Trump returned to the Oval Office, the Biden regime showed itself to be decidedly uninterested in apprehending those behind Abbey Gate attack. There was no communication from the onset, he says. Indeed, when old Joe Biden went to Dover Air Force Base for the return of the bodies of the slain servicemen, he couldn't wait to get out of there and was caught repeatedly looking at his watch, as if he couldn't wait for this thing to be over. It's no surprise that old Joe and others who pursued America Last policies for so long would actually be bored and indifferent to the families of Americans who have fallen in our nation's service. And as always, no matter how appalled patriots such as Mark Schmitz are by their actions, the Democrats will learn nothing and repeat the same behavior later. And I've got one more for you, and then we are going to call it a day.
Democracy is a form of government based upon the principle of majority rule, period. End of discussion. Now, that's not very complicated. Majority rule. It's easy to understand, easy to sell to the masses, and I might add, deadly. For example, what would you call a lynch mob? That's majority rule. There's only one dissenting vote, and he's at the end of the rope. Now that's pure democracy in action. But wait a minute, you say. The majority should rule, yes, but not to the extent of destroying the rights of the minority. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer describing a democracy. We are speaking of a republic. A republic is a limited democracy. It's a form of government based upon the principle of limited majority rule. Limited so that the minority, even a minority of one, can be protected against the whims and passions of the majority. And how do you protect the minority from the majority? You write down a set of rules on a piece of paper. You say, this we can do, That we cannot. At the top of the paper, you write the word Constitution. And then everyone agrees to follow the rules no matter what the temptation. And when you're finished, you've created a constitutional republic.
There you go. That is the best way to end that. Everyone have a wonderful day today. And hopefully we have something new for you tonight. It's going to be a crazy, crazy day. But to make it less crazy, go check out Mo in the Deep End. That's where I'm sending all you fine folks. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you very soon. Peace, y'all.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
How about we throw some peaches over there?